The chicken will come home to roost the moment elections are declared and people hit the campaign trail. So at times when people say Raila is selfish, it is the height of hypocrisy.
It is the height of hypocrisy.
Yes, because he's selfless more than many of us. He had the capacity to be the presidential candidate. But he said, no, Kibaki tosha. For us to tell Raila to announce now is either naive or mischievous. Naive in the sense that we are forgetting the history. That Kibaki tosha was just almost a month before the election.
Truly delighted to have you on board here on Richard Mwenje Exclusive this second week of February, the year of our Lord 2024. Always a pleasure to have you on board. And with me is your favorite powerhouse and think tank, former cabinet minister, Kipruto Arab Kirwa. He's a man of many fasts, and it's such an honor to always have him on board.
Yeah.
Waziri, shikamo.
Maraba.
You still remember some good Swahili from Tanzania?
Yeah, bado nakumbuka. Yeah, nafuatilia wakati mwingine. Wakati mwingine sasa unandi inaingilia. Sasa nasungumza Kiswahili ya Kinandi.
Kiswahili ya Kinandi.
Yeah.
Before we started recording this particular edition, you are taking concern with the sudden demise of marathoner Kelvin Kiptum, and you say it has really worried you and saddened you. I mean, do you think it's such a huge tragedy to the country? Of course it is, but from where you sit as someone from his background, what does that make you feel?
It is huge, given the fact that this is somebody who had just begun his career, and the career looked very promising.
True.
Remember, he broke the marathon record that was set by Eliud Kipchoge in Chicago, and he was poised for bigger things. Really, and given the fact that the family is young, and the parents are made to understand he's the only son or the only child of the father, because when they had him, there were certain complications, and they chose to say, okay, now that we have one child, Mungu atatusaidia. So it is saddening because, of course, children, whether you have 20 or 1, every child is important. But I just want to say for the family, it is a heavy loss. For the country, it is we have lost a treasure, because more than anything else, sportsmen and women in Kenya promote our name abroad. And Kelvin Kiptum had started that trajectory of promoting the national anthem being played once in a while throughout the world. So it is unfortunate, and we just pray that we shall be informed about the circumstances. Was it overspeeding? Was it an issue of trying to avoid a cow or an animal that is crossing the road? Because where the accident happened is an area I'm familiar with, because even before I joined politics, I was teaching in a secondary school near that particular place. So it's unfortunate, but we pray for the family to bear the loss.
Very well.
Yeah.
All right, may his soul rest in eternal peace. And now let's move straight to the day's conversation. And we are talking matters to do with the political future of Azimio One Kenya Alliance, and especially the future of none other than its leader, Raila Odinga. And let's begin from the standpoint of, there are quotas who believe that should Raila declare his 2027 plans, then that will actually lead to a split of Azimio, and it will actually sort of bring down the chances of them being united to bring down William Ruto in 2027. Do you really believe that it will be such a shortcoming for Azimio should Raila announce his bid as early as now?
Well, first of all, William Ruto will not be brought down by Azimio. He will be brought down by his own promises that have not measured in terms of performance. As I've said before, he has demystified himself because he had been operating as the underdog. Now Kenyans, through Jabukati, I say through Jabukati because there are many other issues that we contend with, made him the president. And in a court of law, he was affirmed, and therefore we believe he's the president. You know, at times you believe in something even that you've not seen. We may not have seen the means of under which or through which he got into presidency, but he's the president of the Republic of Kenya. And therefore, It is his promises that will destroy him. So Azimio, what it will be trying to do is just to put a thumbprint on that coffin of destruction of political future of President William Ruto. Getting back to Azimio, let us remind ourselves as Kenyans, since the formation of government led by President Kibaki, NAC 2002, there is no other regime that has been able to form, through a political outfit, the government twice. Remember, it was NAC, it was PNU, then we came to Jubilee, which was split, URP, TNA, then now Jubilee proper, now Kenya Kwanza. For the last 5 elections, no team has been formed in the same outfit twice. I can assure you, and let me say this with the risk of possibly being proven wrong in future, that the next political arrangement that will be getting to the ballot will be part of Azimio and some elements of Kenya Kwanza, and some people even in Azimio may go to Kenya Kwanza. Because after all, these are the same individuals. It's only that when they're in the other room, they condemn this room. Two, I want also to remind Kenyans that all the political formations, they happen on the eve of elections. What is important is what process have we put in place between now and the next election to allow us to form a credible team that is organically together and is homogeneous, and they're able to gel for purposes of forming the next government. For us to tell Raila to announce now is either naive or mischievous. Naive in the sense that we are forgetting the history, that Kibaki Tosha was just almost a month before the election, actually less than 2 months before election. The formation of Uhuru Ruto in 2013 was a few months. Ruto had been shuttling to Musalia, to Kalonzo, to Raila, then eventually settled with Uhuru. And they formed the government. The formation of PNU was on the eve of elections. We went even from NAC, we went to NAC Kenya, then we left NAC Kenya with Karua, then we moved to PNU, and it was on the eve of elections.
Very well.
So it would be foolhardy to expect that Raila will say it is Kalonzo, it is Eugene, it is Richard, or whoever else, or say I'm running in the next election. What we put in place are the processes to get to a candidate that is believable and will win the respect of Kenyans.
Very well.
Yeah.
As a long-serving elected leader here in Kenya, from your optic, what do you think are the potential consequences of Raila Odinga? Should he go forth and declare his bid for 2027 presidential aspirations, despite the opposition from some of his principles?
You know, in politics, there is always what I call siblings rivalry. Even in a family of, let's say, 4 children,
sure,
there will always be rivalry between the children who follow each other quite often. By child psychologists, that's what they tell me, that people who follow each other, there is that competition at the beginning, and that competition never ceases. So that siblings rivalry is there. Among all these individuals in Azimio, including myself, if they said Kirwa Tosha, I will not go into a room and close myself and cry.
And cry yourself.
No, I will say I can lead. Because, you know, leadership is not about you. It's about the team that you create. And as they say, effective leadership is multiplying your capacity through the effort of others. Because it's other people who make you the leader. So I would want to say this: none of us is not equal to the task, but we must accept a country must always have one leader, with other leaders.
Very well. Moving on swiftly, what do you think, how do you think this will play out in the fullness of time? Because we are seeing a trend whereby some core principles in Azimio are somewhat blackmailing Raila Odinga to endorse them as the flag bearer in 2027. Is that likely to intimidate Raila Odinga into giving in?
Well, Raila Odinga is an animal that is like a living organism. A living organism must breathe, must eat, and in order to grow. And when it stops eating, it dies. So Raila Odinga is a living organism that you should expect that he can morph into something else. He may end up being the presidential candidate himself, or even pick somebody else other than those who think they are the ones lined up for favors. So I still want to give him a chance and remind Kenyans that even the Kibaki Tosha statement, he realized there was going to persist some confusion because we went to the Serena, we agreed, and I say so with a lot of authority. I was part of the summit of 8 members led by President Kibaki and possibly tailed by me because there were 8 of us. The names you can read in the books. And when we were in Serena, we had brought in Musenya Chai to be part of us. And Musenya Chai could not agree to cede the position of being presidential candidate. And because we are almost suffering some kind of stalemate, we asked ourselves, people were already in Uhuru Park waiting for us. And we agreed, okay, we cannot give them the candidate today because it was getting to 5. And we are not agreed. So we agreed, let's go inform them that yes, we have more or less come to a position of one candidate for the president, supported by all of us, but we are not giving you the answer today. When we were there, and personally, I had left from my house because I didn't have a driver, so I drove myself. I said, don't want to go to this confusion of Uhuru Park. At 7 o'clock, as I watched the news, Kibaki Tosha, the whole place went rapturous with applause. Raila decided on his own motion. He realized that this is the moment. And if we miss this moment, some people might be bought by Kanu. And he announced Kibaki Tosha. So at times when people say Raila is selfish, it is the height of hypocrisy.
It is the height of hypocrisy.
Yes, because he's selfless more than many of us. He had the capacity to be the presidential candidate. But he said no, Kibaki Tosha, because he realized if he does not forestall any other misgivings, it will, the whole team will be infiltrated and destroyed.
Very well.
Yep.
From your optic, do you take concern with some of Azimio leaders, say Governor Abdul Somad Nasir of Mombasa, who alongside other leaders have come forward and said, come rain, come sunshine. In 2027, it has to be Raila Odinga for presidency and no one else under Azimio, within Azimio. Do you take concern with such sentiments coming in this early, or it could lead to the collapse of the Tower of Babel?
No, the issue is very simple. You know, a strong Azimio is a product of strong constituent parties. So each party is bidding for their own leader because, you know, if somebody from ODM was to be the presidential candidate, whether it's Raila or somebody else within ODM, ODM will still be like the bigger brother. It will galvanize the rest of the country. And that is the danger we had at the time we were forming a NAC, National Rainbow Coalition, because we felt if we were to run Kibaki on DP would be like dominating factor. And by that time, then we collapsed all of them into one. I remember in Abadeas, we almost lost the team because the late Matu Amae said about which symbol are we going to use. He said because Kibaki got 1.9 million votes and the rest got less than, possibly less than 1 million or thereabout, because many Kenyans know the TA, which was the symbol for DP, we collapsed into that and used the word in Kikuyu that the small rivers move into the bigger river. the team was almost split. We had to give them some sanity for it to be sustained. So it would be wrong for Abdul Samad Nasir not to support his candidate. I would also support my party leader, Eugene Wamalwa. And I don't mind people supporting Kalonzo. But the candidate must be a product of consensus. That's the only way we can achieve. And each party must be strong enough so that we carry the ground with us. If we were to say it is Raila now, where areas where ODM is not so much present, those people will just move to other parties.
Very well.
Yeah.
Actually, President William Ruto is somewhat, oftentimes in his development tours, he's going to Raila Odinga's backyards. Don't you think that is one strategy from William Ruto which is likely to easily scuttle away any future prospects for Raila to be the president, now that he's penetrating his backyard and sort of winning the charm and the support of his constituents and members from his locality?
I would want to remind practicing politicians that when you are in office, the people who come to your office are many. And not all of them respect you. They come to you because you have that office. The moment you leave that office, somebody who has been coming to you, you will be shocked. Like if I was to go to Kilimo with binoculars and watch those who are going to see Mithika, I may be surprised that some of my closest associates, they are going to the same office because there is something they were getting from that office when I was there. So at times the office or the aura of presidency can give you very mistaken view of the situation. The chicken will come home to roost the moment elections are declared and people hit the campaign trail.
Very well. For Azimio co-principals, case in point, Martha Karua with his Kamwene Leadership Forum, and also on the other side, Kalonzo Musyoka, who seems to be spearheading parallel courses to form formidable teams of their own. What would be your advice for them?
Well, I would advise them to do what they are doing, to push their own agenda, to push their own outfits, because we need more of that. We need more of Kamwene. We need more of Wiper. We need more of DAP. We need more of all these parties forming what we call Azimio to be strong in their own backyards. It's like, I like using Kitale because that's my home. That we all have vehicles and we have enough fuel. If I was to have full tank in my little car Starlet and your pickup and so forth, and we have enough fuel, and we now choose, we are taking one bus to Nairobi, all the 56 of us, and it happens the bus is enough for all of us. The little fuel I would have put in my Starlet, I will have to put a small portion of that, and we'll reach Nairobi when we still have fuel to go back to Kitale. So the stronger the constituent party in their own locality, the better it is for us. Let's not destroy, because anybody who tells you Kamwene is negative to Azimio, anybody who tells you Wiper is negative to Azimio, is somebody who either is ill-informed politically or is malicious about the survival of Azimio as a political outfit in the next election. It may not be called Azimio. It may be called something else. It will morph the way it has been morphing. It was CORD, it came to NASA, now Azimio. We don't know what is next.
There could be a bouncing baby boy on the way before elections.
Oh yeah, we never know.
We never know.
We never know.
Well, there you have it, that point by Kipruto Arap Kirwa, former cabinet minister, who served actually as the agriculture minister in Kibaki's premier cabinet, first cabinet. You've heard it from him, dispensing nuggets of wisdom on how better we can strengthen our governance, our style, and also addressing some of the political issues within Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition. Whether they will take in his advice, it remains to be seen. But we really hope they'll tap into his wisdom. And it's always a pleasure to have you on board, as well as having Kipruto Arap Kirwa on these sessions. We look forward to your company next time we are doing this together here on Herman Manyora's channel. I'm yours truly, Richard Mwanja, son of the soil. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing.